A race seen as a bellwether for this year's midterm elections, Republican David Jolly won a key congressional seat in Central Florida on Tuesday. Jolly captured 48.4% of the vote, compared with 46.6% for Alex Sink in a special election to replace the late Congressman Bill Young. It was also one of the most expensive races in recent memory. More than $11 million was spent on the race, nearly $9 million of it from outside groups, according to the Center for Responsive Politics. Welcome back to the News Hub. I'm Simon Constable. Is there a sinking feeling inside the White House? Probably. Job approval for President Obama hits a new low in a new Wall Street Journal NBC poll. WSJ's Patrick O'Connor has the details. Patrick, thank you for being there.
Thanks for having me.
President Obama's not going to be very happy about this. The approval rating, and I'm looking at it now, approve. 41% of people approve. That is a new low.
Yeah, it's a new low, and then his disapprove is 54%, which is matching his all-time high from last December back to the health care problems.
And what other than health care problems, is this the usual? It's the state of the economy, it's the rollout of the health care. Is it anything else? Is it the dysfunction of Congress? What's going on?
It's all of that. It's a big stew. People are more pessimistic about the economy, the direction of the country than they have been in a long time. So that's probably feeding into it. There's obviously a lot of consternation about the health law. It remains very unpopular. And while these are really bad numbers for the president, they're probably worse numbers for congressional Democrats heading into the midterm elections in November, just because the president is weakest where they need to defend the most Senate seats in the South and in the Midwest.
Well, I think 41% favorability is bad. It's actually worse if you're in the party within Congress. We got to put on another graphic here. Democratic Party 35%, so even worse than President Obama, and the Republican Party even worse than that. So that's really quite bad.
If there's good news in this poll, it's probably that Republicans fare worse both in the Democratic Party and the president. So they have a very narrow advantage on the generic ballot in terms of which party voters would rather see control Congress. And it looks like it's not going to be a big wave that would sweep them out of power in the House. At the same time, no one's really popular in Washington at the moment.
Yeah, we've got that there, which is interesting because if you look at the poll that we just mentioned, it's saying that the favorability of Republicans is really low. And yet, who should call Congress? Republicans marginally outweigh Democrats, and that is, of course, way within the margin of error there. So basically, the same there. This is fascinating. Now, one of the things in your story mentions that if people were given the option, they would happily vote everyone out of Congress.
Yeah, what we're seeing is a very strong anti-incumbent mood. Now, it's dissipated slightly since October during the government shutdown, but we're still near historic highs in whether or not you would vote all members out, whether you want your incumbent member of Congress to be reelected. So these are bad numbers for everybody who currently sits in Congress. The difference is that the country right now, because of gerrymandering, the districts are carved so narrowly that there are very few swing districts that this is actually going to have a real impact.